What's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVSS. I do have a Get Lit t-shirt reminiscent of Black Lightning. It's coming out, premiering Tuesday. I was able to get that from the after party from the world premiere at the DFVM location. It was actually really dope, really great episode. Just want to definitely plug that. But this review is going to be on this Netflix film that I've just seen today called Super Dark Times. I don't want to mention what the premise is, but I'll give you a small backdrop of what kind of happened. You got actors that are notable in Charlie Tahan. He plays the role of Scarecrow in Gotham. But the rest is just this unknown cast I've never heard of before. Owen, Campbell, Elizabeth Pacino, let's see, Max Talisman, and Sawyer Barth. I think the only one I would really recognize would be Amy Hargreaves, who plays the role of Karen, who is the mom of Zach. So Zach, Josh, Daryl, and Charlie, they all are kind of just goofing around one day. And between their interactions, like, you can kind of tell Zach and Josh are really close, and Charlie and Daryl are more close because they're a little bit older. But, you know, it seems as though Daryl is kind of just like this guy. It's just like, he just goes and does crazy stuff and just always out there and just playing way too much. Josh is really kind of the reserved, kind of loner one. And you know for a fact that his brother has gone over to military, so he hasn't seen his brother. He doesn't know when his brother even coming back. This also, the set drop for this one feels like, I want to say 90s. Early 90s. There is no cell phones. There are outside lines, but they don't really leave any allusion to a time frame. But which adds an awesome nuance, because some of the issues that come up, you know, like, you can't call somebody on your cell phone. There's not even a pager. It's just like, what are you going to do about the situation? And these kids don't even have cars. They're relying on bikes and then on the move. Anyway, one day they decided they're going to go and do something, and they go and meet at one person's house, and they go outside. And from that interaction, from that moment, something catastrophic happens. And it's really dark. Like, it's rough. It's really rough. But I thought that was bad. But everything that precedes that is just a downward spiral, right? Because the role of Zach, he plays, instead of like this character that's like, man, he likes this girl named Allison, he wants to get with her. His friend Josh is, they even open and they're talking about prospects and picking girls they like. This is not for kids, by the way. This is definitely a rated R film. Definitely a lot of cursing. Some imagery is definitely pornographic and nudity in there, and definitely very violent. So I just wanted to put that out there. But it's evident that, you know, Zach really likes Allison, but so does his friend Josh. But it's really key that Allison really likes him back. Just remember that. Because after that incident, you know, Allison goes back and converges with him, and he's so in shock and so traumatized that he is paranoid and almost delusional. Like, it's very, as much as like Zach is a character, is very understanding and wise, and I get why he's so, you know, all spaced out all the time. It's just like, he's also, throughout the film, you're just like, man, he is a liability at the same exact time. The only character you kind of don't really get a lot of playtime with is Charlie. Charlie, he kind of sticks to himself because he's a lot older, but there are some key moments between him, Zach, and Josh that are very interesting, and the dialogue is very precise. But then, my man that definitely was a standout was definitely Charlie for the role of Josh, because, you know, Josh, I think, is affected by the situation the most. And, you know, you don't get to see him spacing out as much as Zach. As far as Zach is concerned, Zach has some very dark dreams, like very dark. And the way that this movie is shot, visually, I think it is masterful cinematography. Like, the transition beats are amazing. Like, when you go and you're like interacting with one situation, somebody's closing the door, it opens up into something else. When Zach goes home, he's doing something with his mom, all of a sudden then it's a transition to something else. And I think that those visual cues, like the small close-up moments, the the focus moments that are like sitting there really narrow, it gives you this like feeling like what is going to happen, and you're on the edge of your seat most of the movie until you get to the third act. And when you get to the third act, you're not, I don't even know how to put it. You don't know what to perceive or believe at the same time. Perceive in the sense of everything that you've kind of dealt with, the situation of listening to what Josh is saying, what Zach is saying, what Charlie's saying, what the other people are saying, and you're kind of like, you're seeing this environment implode on itself because other things start to happen. And you're sitting there like, man, you know, this could go this way, but you don't really know. And then when you look at the third act, you're like, oh my gosh. Like, legit, like, I almost guarantee by the end of the film, you're going to go at some point, oh my gosh. Like, that's the feeling that this movie definitely gives you. I think it was very brilliantly acted. I think that the way that it was done is from a production standpoint, cinematography standpoint, it was very well done. I actually recommended this to a couple people. My man Jarrell. Shout out to Amon Frost or Amon Snow for recommending this. It's definitely a really good film. And Netflix just keeps on putting up stuff that, like, I don't know if this is an original feature because I think this is available on DVD or Blu-ray or HD. But the fact that it's featured on Netflix and it's a movie that I could watch, I was like, yo, this is serious. This is actually really good. I have to give this movie no lower than maybe like 8.5. Maybe even an 8.7 out of 10. I really want to give it a 9. But without spoiling anything, the very, very end kind of leaves you on this note where, you know how like there's movies that answers your question, but then you're like, yo, but this though, you know, and I don't think that this is going to be any kind of continuation. I think it was just a well-constructed, standalone film that at the end I kind of wanted a little bit more. And I mean, that's no deviation from the acting or the presentation at all. I think that the character Zach, towards the third act, does make some choice decisions that I'm kind of like upset about because I wouldn't have handled it that way. But I mean, like I said, the character Josh is amazing. The character Zach in his own way is amazing. Even the character Allison, which I thought she was very interesting because I kind of felt for her more than anybody because really she's just trying to be affectionate to Zach. And Zach is dealing with this trauma that he can't try to even think to relate to her, even though he wants to. And there's some subtle cues that happen with their interaction that I don't think gets answered right. But like I loved it throughout watching it, but I kind of wanted like this resolved. I wanted to feel kind of like this has been resolved here. This is why this happened. But definitely check it out for yourself. But no going into it very violent, a lot of language, and anything kind of goes kind of situation in this movie. But either way, I'm leaving this with an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely notable movie to check out. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. I'm about to give you guys my accolades on everything that happened with the Black Lightning premiere. And it was electrifying. Talk to you guys later. Peace.